What is up, guys? It's your boy Beast of Ecom, and what we're going to move on to now is, of course, now that we've got everything cool set up on our pages, our pixel, our ad account, stuff like that, I'm going to give you a little bit of a context of Facebook adverts and how it all works, just so that you've got a little bit of information before we actually jump into the screen and actually then put together a campaign. So see it as kind of theory as well, so a little bit of context to the video after this one of how to actually build campaigns. So let's jump right into things. So the main type of adverts that you're going to be using, of course, is primarily website conversions and page post engagements. Now, website conversions is based on actions. It's tied to our pixel. Of course, everything is tied to the pixel, but this is more like you can optimize for a certain action to be taken on your website. So say, for example, you set up a website conversion campaign and put the objective as view content. Facebook's going to show the advert then to people who are more likely to take that action. So show it to people who are more likely to click on your actually advert and land on your product page. Again, with add to cart, it will show it to people more likely to add the product to the cart. And again, with purchase as well, it will show the your advert to people who are more likely to actually come to your website, fill in the add to cart, and actually purchase. So what I've put here is it's more for buyers. Okay. Now, when you're first starting off, you've got no data on your pixel. Okay, everything's brand new, so you can't jump straight to purchase because obviously Facebook's not got any data from your website, what people are doing on it, and all that sorts of things. But once you start to build up some pixel data, you'll be able to go straight to purchase. But we'll cover a little bit of that in the next few slides going forward. So most of the time you're going to be starting off when you've got a brand new pixel, okay, of course, is starting off with website conversions and just doing view content to start to build up that data on your website. Page post engagements are typically for engaging. Again, if you want, what Facebook will then do is, of course, is show the advert more likely to people who are going to take an action on your actual advert. So say, for example, you might see an advert with likes, comments, shares, and all those sorts of things. So people will show it to people who are more likely to like your advert, comment on it, share it with friends and stuff like that. What I tend to find is that Facebook is at a point now where it's very clever in terms of the type of people who it will show it to. So if you are optimizing for people to take action, then they will very much, you want to be going with this one. And again, with engagements, this is the sort of campaign that the traffic that Facebook will send you will generally be people who will like, comment, and not people who will purchase. But that's not to say, of course, that you can't make sales from a page post engagement campaign, because I have before, of course, and you can still make sales from these things as well. So let's move on. So moving on, let's talk about the campaign structure and what actual Facebook campaigns actually look like. Okay, so we'll break things down, and here you can see in this diagram in the middle is how Facebook campaigns are generally set up in the structure. Okay, so at the campaign we've got is the very top level. Okay, so say, for example, a campaign will be a website conversion campaign, or will be a page post engagement campaign, and as you can see here, each campaign corresponds with a single advertising objective. So like I mentioned, if you're doing website conversions, you'll have that as a campaign. If you're doing page post engagements, you'll have that as a campaign as well. They'll be separate, you can't run them. You can't have a campaign that has both objectives in it. It has to be one objective for each campaign. Moving down below, we've got ad sets. Now, ad sets are where you can set your budget, your targeting, this is where you select your interests, your ages, your placements, whether it's mobile or desktop. So a lot of the ins and outs and working and testing generally goes in on ad set level. And then moving down, of course, you've got your actual adverts, which I like to call creatives, which they're just your actual adverts. So generally, when we move on to how I do things, we'll see I obviously like to have two creatives. So that'll be your actual video if you're doing a video advert, or it'll be a picture, if you're doing a page post picture. So we'll move on and we'll actually see how these work in theory, but as you can see, as a quick view how campaigns work, right down to ad sets, and then the adverts at the bottom, so you can see the makeup of how it all works. So Facebook Ads 101. So generally what you're going to be doing is starting with website conversion adverts, view content, like I've mentioned, because you've got no data on your pixel at all, and you want to be showing your adverts to people who are gonna click through onto your actual advert, click through onto your landing page, and take that action, whether it be an add to cart and then go on to purchase and stuff like that. But very first, because you've got no data at all, you want to then start to building that up, and the best way to do that, of course, is start right at the top of the funnel. So the top of the funnel is view content, then it's add to cart, then it's purchase. Second point, of course, is work up the ladder once you get more data. So the new ad sets, with ad sets you can have one ad set that advertises for view content, an advert that is for add to cart, and a one for purchase. So you can do it like that, and once you start getting that more data and data, what you can do is obviously start new ad sets with the add to cart objective, and then of course if you're doing purchase and you're still selling that product, you can then just start adverts straight away with the purchase objectives, once they start becoming available. But we'll see that once we actually jump into the screen and actually put together a campaign. So what you're going to be using is obviously page post adverts. So a big, what you generally see on Facebook is like a big picture of the actual product, or someone wearing a product, or someone using the products. Or you can use obviously video adverts as well, which is video of someone again demonstrating the product, or whether it be a slideshow which has been made into a video, and stuff like that. And then once you've got, like I've mentioned previously, once you've got a season pixel, or what we like to say as a season pixel, which is sort of, you've got 300 purchases, you've been selling successfully products for a while, you've built up a database there, your pixel's now seen as being seasoned. Okay, it knows what sort of people, Facebook now knows a lot more about your website, the type of actions that people are taking on your website, the sorts of people that purchase from your website, the ages, the type of audience, the countries, and all those sorts of things. Facebook gathers that data and optimizes your adverts going forward. So your adverts can always get better over time once you get more data. Okay, and once you do, then you can pretty much start every campaign with the purchase objective. There's no real need at all then to go back to view content once you've got that pixel data and purchases going through your pixel. Like I mentioned previously, you can also use a page post engagement campaign alongside a website conversion campaign, just to help you get some social engagement on an actual a product or an actual advert. So running them together, so you might have one campaign which is for the same product, so you might have a campaign which is page post engagement and a campaign which is optimized for purchases, and have them running alongside each other. So one's sending you engagement traffic and the other one's sending you the buyers, and they're working together off each other. And like I mentioned before, what I'm going to mention in the next few slides is, make sure that you test different audiences and interests in your different ad sets. Okay, have at least 4 different ad sets. Okay, and when we say ad sets, we'll move on and I'll show you how those work. But make sure you've got 4 different audiences and 4 different ad sets together, because you don't just want to test one. Don't just test one at all, because your chances of actually stumble upon an audience that works, okay, you're not giving Facebook a lot of leeway to work with and optimize, where if you're just using one campaign, one ad set, and one creative, you're limiting what Facebook can do and who it shows it to and stuff like that. So moving on, this is an example. Let's say, for example, we're selling a cat necklace, and we'll actually jump in and do this on the screen so you can see how it all works. So at campaign level, we've got website conversions, view content, and the product is a cat necklace. So our ad set 1 might be cat magazines. Okay, so all different cat magazines, we'll be putting it into that one ad set. That would be our interest in that one ad set. And then in that ad set, we'll have 2 creatives. So one creative could be as one picture, another creative could be a different picture. But we're both running it to that same audience. Again, ad set 2 can be breeds, so you like Siamese cats, or again, I'm not a fan of, I don't know many different breeds of cats, but you can always do a Google search and find out the most popular ones. And again, when we start jumping into it, you'll see that Facebook will start, it's very clever, so it'll suggest, once you type in one keyword, it will suggest a load of different ones which are highly related to that one keyword that you type in. And again, we'll do the exact same creatives as those ones there. So creative 1, creative 2, which will be the same as these ones here, creative 1, creative 2. And again, different ad set. So as you can see, all of these ad sets are different audiences, okay? And that's what you want to be doing, making sure that every different ad set has a different audience within it, so that we're giving Facebook a lot more room to work with. And again, with the creatives as well, as you can see, creative 1 and creative 2 in there, and creative 1 and creative 2 in there. With brands as well, we're giving Facebook a lot more options to work with, optimizing to find us those buyers and people who are going to actually take action on our website and purchase from us, rather than just having one campaign, one ad set, one creative. We're highly limiting what Facebook can do. If we then have things set out like this in this structure, which again we'll show when we jump into actual live working of how it all works, you'll see really quickly how things actually work in real time. So that is an example of cats. And just some brief advice, okay? Results do not happen overnight, okay? I've been in this game years now, okay? And when I first started out, again, it didn't just happen overnight. You can't just do your 10k days and just expect it to happen like that. Not to say that it can't happen at all. If you get the right product, right audience, right offer, again, these things can happen, okay? Very easy to happen, but the chances of the hitting on your first bat is highly unlikely. So you've got to test, okay? You must test. I am always testing, okay? This is the basic structure again. If you get into my full course, I'll have a whole load of different things and a lot more advanced techniques of getting into doing Facebook ads and stuff like that. But this is very much the basics. Again, this is how I started off, and you can still make sales using this method, okay, and this strategy. And make sure that you're managing your expectations, okay? Like I've mentioned, things are not just going to happen overnight. Don't just spend, $10 and think, oh man, this doesn't work. It's complete crap. It's not working, okay? Because I'm testament that it works. Everyone else in the groups and stuff will be testament to it works. This stuff works, okay? So please do manage your expectations, and don't think just because you spent $10 that, oh crap, this isn't working, let me close it all off, okay? You have to manage your expectations. So yeah. Don't see it as losing money, as okay. Like I've mentioned as well, don't see if you spent $10 or you spent $20. That is in this grand scheme of things, that is absolutely nothing. Okay, you'd spend that on a night out. Okay, you got to remember these things. Yeah, you are very much buying data. Okay, so you're not losing money. See it as buying data, and the more data that you have, the better decisions, and the more information you have to be able to make better decisions. Okay, so say for example, if you're spending on a product, and you might see that, say 25 to 34-year-olds who are women are buying your product and the rest ain't, okay? You've then got that data, okay? And you know that obviously next time you run an advert, or next time you run a campaign or something, you know that criteria, that 25 to 35-year-olds, okay, are going to be more likely to purchase that specific product, okay? So don't see it as losing money, see it as buying data. And once you shift your mindset, okay, to see it like that, that's when you become a lot better at marketing, okay? Your fear then starts to diminish, and you start becoming better and looking at things a lot more from a data analysis point of view, rather than having an emotional attachment to a specific product. Test at least 3 to 5 products a week if possible. Again, if you can do more, if your budget allows, then make sure that you are testing products, because you might test one product, it might work. You might test 3 products and all 3 might not work, but on the 4th, that could be your winner. Okay, so don't just test 2 and think, oh man, again, this doesn't work at all. Make sure you're doing your research, like in a product research video. Test those products, and yeah, do more. The more you can do, the better. And like I mentioned as well, test different audiences, scale the winners and shut off the ones that aren't winning or bringing in your sales. That is pretty much it. And like I've put down here in big bold, the person who tests the most makes the most. Okay, I'm always testing. Okay, always testing different audiences, different styles, different strategies and stuff like that. So I'm always testing 100%. So the person who tests the most will make the most. All you've got to do is shut off the ones that aren't making you money and scale up the ones that are making you money and start banking that way. So that is it for this video. Let's jump into actually putting this into practice and getting an advert live. So I'll see you guys in the next video.